Like to bring this order of the Parks and Trails Commission to order on Monday, December the 8th. Call to order. Yes, we need to approve the minutes. We've already, somebody pointed out that on page, I pointed this out, Howard, last page, page 3, discussion items. I was supposed to read Nob Hill Nature Park, not Botanical Gardens.
That was nice of you to consider us.
Well, we do need to get a work party over there as soon as the weather gets better.
I make one accept minutes.
Okay, second it?
Second the motion.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Aye. Okay, we don't have any guests here. Do we have anybody online? Oh, Lynn's there. Hey, Lynn.
Lynn.
Okay, and since I didn't really know I was gonna be doing this till I was out wandering around, we don't have a roundtable question. Does anyone have one that they'd like to ask? Put you guys on the spot. I dreamed one up at the last second last time.
What are you most looking forward to in the next year or two in our parks?
Okay,
Me personally.
go first. Yeah,
me
the first to
personally,
get to that one.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen with them. I feel like we're in a stage where it's starting to get moving very slowly, but it's starting to get something done. And I don't know, I feel like in 2 years, the process will probably be, I don't know, maybe starting groundwork.
Or we could just be talking about it like we are right now.
That is true.
Well, we've got lots of good discussions.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna get it, Scott.
Oh, no, go.
Oh, Ash, okay.
I would like to see the health of the vegetation, at least not getting worse, getting better, more native
The
plants.
Scotch broom.
My Scotch broom, yeah, that's
That's
the
Scotch brew. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know, I got a great tool for Scotch brew.
Yeah.
Weed wrench. So
weed
good
wrench.
time.
I want
Oh,
one.
you do?
I got a weed wrench for right now.
Oh.
We share it with somebody, but I have access to it right now. So certain things it works really. This is one of the really good ones. Perhaps it pulls.
Nice.
Okay, I guess it's my turn. Just love to see our parks grow, more visitors come, and hopefully get people to respect our parks more. Gary?
Well, what do you think? Yeah, what I'm looking forward for the most is to see the implementation of the urban trail.
Okay.
Looking forward to talking about the implementation of the urban trail next year.
I don't know, my parents.
I'm also looking
Flat for
forward
some
to
reason.
the,
You got one for us, Lynn?
Well, Scott's not done yet.
Oh, you're not done yet, Scott?
Yeah, I'd like to see more maintenance done by the commissioners on the parks, such as pulling weeds and doing more clipping.
Were you done, Scott? Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say, looking forward to seeing the next phase of.
Thank you for yours, Lynn.
That's good.
That's good. Okay, let's see, roundtable question. Belcher.
Campbell Park pickleball courts.
Uh-huh.
Every time I go play pickleball with down here, it's not too often. But the local pickleball community wants to have a different surface on the pickleball courts at Columbia at Campbell Park.
We had discussed that, putting that on the wish list of the next master plan.
Mhm.
Either putting a new surface or new courts, so that's hopefully we can get that, get started with that and never done.
And also
get some grant money at it. We have it on the master plan.
and some of the pickleball players were definitely willing to help. I don't, never, they could help take up the old surface. And I don't really know how you put down the new surface. I don't understand that, but they're also willing to help. So every time they see me, they talk to me about
Want me to chime in with what I know?
Yeah.
So I've dealt with Mr. Fawcett quite a bit on this the last few days, and that's who you've been talking to, I'm sure.
But more people than him.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's kind of being his people with interest in this together, and a lot of them are willing to either donate labor, some of them monetary, some of them both. And what they're looking for is basically the court tiles. When it's cold, especially, they'll rise up a little bit off the ground level. Well, when the ball hits that, getting that to the ground absorbs all the energy of the ball and the ball is dead. So it's really making the courts kind of useless or getting that way. So what we talked about was he got a quote from Sport Court just out of curiosity, and for them to just put the surface down and stripe it is $36,000. We priced, if we pulled the mats up, it's all gonna be relevant on the condition of the concrete underneath, of course. There might be some prep work there on seams and stuff. We think that just to do the pickleball courts, they could be resurfaced, the price of the material for around $6,000. That's us installing it ourselves and them helping, my work crew and them.
What was the $36,000 figure?
That's paying a company to come in and do all the work. And resurface it and stripe it. The striping was a couple $1,000s. It's not a lot. So we're kind of looking into that. He has given me some numbers, which I'm not going to throw out now, that he's willing to spend himself and a couple other people that he knows. But he's still doing a lot of research on it. I talked to the parks crew about it and why we used the mats. It's because it was expensive to coat it, cheaper to put the mats down. Problem is the mats, their life is pretty much up, and the basketball courts having issues with it also because now with the electric bikes, they're doing turn-offs on the mats until they melt them. So we're having problems with that too. So one of my thoughts was maybe next spring, pull up a corner of it to where you're not making the whole place useless and test it out. Spend a little bit of money, buy the product, see if we can put it down, see if it's gonna stick, see if it stays, maybe do one court as a test run, so we're not spending a whole bunch of money. I mean, 6,000 to 8,000 is not a whole bunch, but, and try it out and see if we can do it. Pay somebody to paint the lines, because that's kind of the more technical part of it. Just mopping it down and stuff looks like it's fairly simple. Rainier just did theirs. There's another, God, what town is it? It's close by. They're doing the same thing. So I was gonna reach out to them, and so is Eric. So that's kind of where we're at right now. And Eric also wants to, he said he would even purchase the nets if we could have permanent nets installed. So that's what I know.
A couple questions here. So are you talking about 3 courts or 6 courts?
Long run, all of them.
Okay.
The whole side that's fenced in.
Okay. When you were mentioning the 6, yeah.
They're testing it on the, doing a quarter, one
The
quarter
other
test.
thing is when Rainier did their courts, they got a large grant. And Ron Slumberger, he's at, he would be willing, he'd tell us all the information about who they contacted and everything. So do you want me to contact Ron and?
It's not gonna hurt. I think Eric might have already contacted him. I'm not sure about that.
Okay, well, I'll talk to Eric then, and him and Ron can, because Eric's really,
He's gone home.
yeah, so I mean, that's why you need someone that's.
Well, if these people are willing to put money up. That'll show any grant
Yeah, and
application.
he's serious by the numbers that he tells me that he's willing to throw out there. He's serious. He's not just saying, I'll give you $200. I mean, he's adamant about it, and pretty much right now, if you want to play those courts when they're cold, most people are going to play them and just walk away, because he said it kind of ruins it when you hit the ball and it just dies on the ground. And there's also a lot of nicer courts coming around us, so they're getting closer to get to those, So it'd be nice to at least have the courts be able to be used what they're supposed to be used for.
So. And that's. That'll give us. Ability to get grant.
Yep. And it's less maintenance for our guys, because those Those mats are gonna be a nightmare the next few years.
Is that it, Jerry?
Yes.
Losing again. I guess on the term expirations, I guess Dana has decided she doesn't wanna continue, so thank you for all of her good work and stuff that she's done over the few years she's been here being chair.
She is going to be missed. She
Yep.
just,
Yep.
she was a catalyst with a lot of stuff.
Uh-huh,
On the commission.
uh-huh,
It's a big hole.
uh-huh, uh-huh. And then, the next one would be a Scott. Are you willing to continue on?
Been contemplating, actually. Just, I gotta say that, you know, what happened last year is really taking it out on me with, being on the commission.
Uh-huh.
So it's been a point of reflection, but I'm going to continue on. If you allow.
No. Um. If you want to do that, then I was gonna say, should we probably make a motion to recommend his reappointment?
I'd rather have recommendation rejection.
One of us has to vote
Yeah,
no.
I'll make a motion that we accept Scott Jacobson for another term.
Second it,
I second the motion.
okay. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? All right, so you're the new chair. No. Since we're minorly kind of in that area, I mean, I guess it's think about who wants to do what for next month, because what we usually elect new officers in January, is that it? I believe. So think of.
Are you gonna throw that out now, Howard, or later on?
Yeah, no, I was just saying, we need to think about it. I don't know if we wanna
Well, we need to,
talk a lot on it or just.
well, we
come
need to
in
have
with-
a chairman for next time.
Yeah,
And,
Which would be Howard.
and, yeah, I'd make a motion that, you know, if that's where we're going with this, that you do it. And then after that's, if you're elected, then we should, move forward with a vice chairman. I think we should have both of them in place for next month.
okay, I mean,
Yeah,
A lot of
nominations
paperwork.
are in January.
what's that?
Nominations are in January.
Yeah,
Are they in January? Okay.
yeah. I mean, just so you guys think, I am not a paperwork person, so. We've had people set such a high bar. I don't know if I would be able to fill the high bar.
Less papers too.
That's expected, you know, I just always gotta say that I'm not a paperwork person. I'm not that type of organized person. So,
I think chairs should just facilitate this.
so, I mean, if that's all you guys really want, I possibly could be talked into that. I have a month to think about it since nominations are next month. So,
You know, I think Scott brought up a good point. You know, when I was chairman, I'm a computer person either, even I do it occasionally when I have to.
mhm,
But like Scott said, you know, the chairman is basically to facilitate the meeting.
yes,
And anyone that wants to, you know, bring different things to the
Uh-huh.
meeting,
okay,
you know, like Dana did. I mean, she was chairperson at the time she brought those, but she didn't have, you know, she could have been a non-chairperson and still brought forth the same things she was talking, you know, she wanted us to deliberate on.
the big thing is I'm after FIAM, I want to try to get us.
And I think,
Not-
and I think the other thing too is, you know, I'm just talking about you, Howard.
Yeah.
I know you and Howard, and Scott and
Uh-huh.
people,
Uh-huh.
and also you guys stay really in tune with what's happening in the city a lot more than I know, than I do, and I don't know.
Because one of my goals would be is that I would try to get us to have only one volunteer work party a month at a different park. I think that that's something that we should eventually try to get ourselves to, that we would have a one volunteer session a month. Too many just strings people out too
You
much.
wouldn't have to be chair to be able to.
Yeah, yeah. But that's one of that would be one of the goals that I'm trying to
Yeah.
achieve for us. Because I think we need to have a lot more outreach and try to get community involved, make parks better. We've discussed our rules and regulations so much, I think we need to move on and try to concentrate more on benefiting things up in the parks. That type of thing, so that's my running platform. Okay, I was gonna move on, but I was gonna ask one quick question. I see you here, John. Are you here just to observe today, or do you have a special reason?
Well, I do.
I
Here to observe and to give some input on, the joint council meeting that you had a while back and your desire to be more involved with parks planning and decision making, the parks master planning update, things of that nature. Just thinking of a way that the commission could maybe I'll back up for a second, that the community development department's down two bodies. So between Rachel and Jenny leaving, we now are like 50% capacity because I'm the chair, the head of the department as well. And you've expressed a desire to update your Parks Master Trails Plan, which is time is ready. Right now, we're working on the transportation system plan. And then we have another big project that has a trail nexus, and that's the Scappoose to St. Helens connector. There's a regional. Then the plan was to leverage some state dollars to update the Parks Master Plan, because it's inexpensive and we did it with Jenny to begin with, but I think it deserves a full redo. I did reach out to Jenny to see if she has capacity to do it. She felt like her by herself didn't have the resources to do that. So that's kind of checked off the box. So thinking of ways that you as a commission can have a way to keep parks and trails, the master plan update on the agenda, having a list of projects, priorities, and
now, if we were gonna do that, would it be easier if we had several things at one time for you guys to go after, if we were gonna ask for it to be added to it or something, or do you want singularly things? Is that the word?
that's up to the commission. If you want to have a standing agenda item that says Parks Master Plan update and look at it every meeting.
Well, what is the process of that? We come to you and say, we want to update the plan to include the resurface of the pickleball courts. We just do that right now, and that's it, or is there longer, more involved process?
We have to make the process.
Things could come on and off the list as quick as you put them on there.
Yeah.
A lot of it depends on you. I'm just thinking of a way that you might be able to have it just be something you look at, every meeting and have a list and, what is the project, what are the action items? Is this short-term, long-term? And then what kind of fiscal impact is there, but, budget component to that?
Well, I mean, just so it can be, hit all the bases, do you have an idea of what criteria you'd like to see on these?
I would look at any of our master plans and use that same kind of template, and it would just be a recommendation, right? So this is gonna be your recommendation for the update, and it would just be a living document.
Yes.
Just until we can get to it, and we populate that.
My point is, just like talk about granting, just to get on there so we can actually have the access to grants. If we were to go.
Yeah, and if the council needs to adopt that by a resolution as a recommendation, we can do that from time to time.
Are these,
Or
John,
just-
what you're
John?
saying, what you're saying is, let's say we want to add something to the plan. At the meeting, we say we want to add it, and then we send it to the city council, and then they can add it to the master plan. Is that what you're thinking? It's just, we make a recommendation, goes to the city council. If they agree, then it goes, then it's just,
A recommendation with details.
and then that's added to it.
When we get to the Parks Master Plan update, this will be a document that will populate that.
But this will go under the old one, and
It doesn't necessarily have to go on to the old one, it would build off the old one.
I think you're just creating a
Yeah.
wish list that you want,
Yes.
but you're gonna have some logistics to it about, you know, how much money are we talking? What type of time frame are we talking? Basically a categorized wish list that when it is time to update the master plan, you can go. This is our wish list. Let's try to see which ones we can get in here.
But I think here's what Scott's saying is that. I understand what you're saying, at least the way I understand it, Buck, you know, you've got what you just said. It's set aside here, but it's not on the master plan. So what Scott's saying, you know, it should maybe be an addendum to the master plan so that. Then if
Carry some weight.
yeah, carry some weight if we want to get a grant or so that's what I was asking you, John. Can it be just added on? And then when the new one comes up in a year or two, then. You know, move forward to, you know, to do the new one.
If we're gonna do that, but we're gonna rely on the old document, we should go through and clean that up as far as what's still priority, what's completed. And there's quite a few things that are.
Right, that would be my recommendation is that the existing master plan probably has quite a few items in there that we could just take a look at and make sure that those are still included or items that we still want included in a updated master plan. Is that, and if there's, and then if there's anything additional that we wanted to add to the updated master plan, is that kind of what you're saying, John?
That was my vision of this, yes.
Okay, yeah,
That's
that would be, because as I look at it, I mean, there's obviously, money, budget, those type of things, priority takes precedent. There's a lot of things that are in the master plan that, projects, things that haven't been able to be done, since it was last updated, obviously. So, for one reason or another, but those are certainly things that we should probably, I would think we should probably look at as a committee a little more closely than maybe what we have been looking at in terms of kind of a guideline or a roadmap of what we're kind of advocating for or advising on or making sure gets done or find out why it's not getting done or try to help get it done, I guess. I guess kind of what I've always sort of thought.
Paul, are you suggesting a review of the master plan by all of us?
Yeah, because I mean, there's quite a few items in there that, we've talked, in the last go around, the last update that, that are, some are good and maybe some need to be updated or maybe things have changed and it, a particular project or whatever can't, doesn't need to be done now or whatever. But yeah, I think that's kind of what he's indicating. And I think that's something that our group could certainly help on moving forward is helping get that updated and then kind of following through. I think we probably have kind of failed as a group to probably follow through on even the last go around to just kind of stay on top of some of those different projects and find out, what we can do to kind of help move them along or, that's been kind of my take on it, or that's my take anyway. So
I agree with those comments.
Yep, I do too. I'm
So how do
wondering,
we proceed on?
well, I would probably think then, next month, what we need to start doing between now and our next meeting is. Everybody look through all your files and see if you find your copy of the Parks and Trails Master Plan. Okay, and then I was gonna say, if you guys haven't seen it, you need to,
I've looked through it before, but I shouldn't review it all.
have you ever looked at it at all? See if you can find it online. If you can't, let. No, more of a hard copy person. I gotta look around and see if I can find my hard copy of it. But next month's meeting, I think we should come in with a few ideas of what we possibly would want to start trying to add to it. I sometimes think if we're gonna make the city do some work on it, that we should have a couple of things if they're gonna be doing paperwork. Not just like, here's one, oh, here's another one this month, let's let them do it, so maybe somebody just has to do every month or two, they sit down and do an hour or two's
There's a lot more to this than just recommendations. There's
Yeah.
all the basic information that.
Well, that's why I'd like to almost open it up and over the next few months, try to just skim over X number of pages every meeting.
Some of it's not even.
Yeah, some of
something
we,
that we.
no,
deal with.
no, no.
Population.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. There's just a
Yeah.
lot of this that we can't
fly right through.
can't deal with.
Yeah, yeah. So that's just my game plan. I think that we'll try to do. That sounds reasonable to you guys.
So let me. Clear my head, we're going ahead and reviewing it, but we're still going on a monthly basis about. Possibly adding things or subtracting things.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. We will, I don't think we'll make it formally that this month we're doing it, but every 2 or 3 months, we'll take the things that we've looked at the previous couple of meetings. And then move those on. We can discuss what they are and see what other information we may need. It may take a month or two for us to, once we get a recommendation for adding something to it, to come up with all the information that you guys would really want us to have in it for the next step. Is that the thought, John? Does that sound right?
It's, I would say that it's intended to be a living document that you.
Yeah, yeah.
Review it, you can add things, delete things.
Okay. So free flow.
I would start with the existing capital improvement pages to see what's completed and not, just strike things
Yeah.
off. It's still a priority.
Well, what started this all, I think, is when I asked about the golf course. And I was trying to, because it is kind of time pumped. Could be. That's why I'm trying to get it going right away. So, the sooner the better.
Okay, okay.
My view.
Oh, you'd be one of our first people to bring an item to us where we try to put it on the actual list that will
And
go
also the,
somewhere.
Pickleball.
Yeah.
Mention those two things last.
There's one chapter here that deals totally with recommendations, chapter 6.
So you're recommending that we would look at recommendations?
I'd have to look at this again before I make that recommendation.
Well, that's our assignment for the next month is everybody go home and take a look at it and see how we want to really formally attack this at the next meeting and that type of thing. Is there still some copies of that around, hard copies or the Parks and Trails Master Plan?
That's a good question. I can look around and get back to you.
Because the one I've got is like
You
all
know,
together with paper clips.
you can always print them out.
Yeah, and he's got a beautiful one in a binder, which would just make my life a lot easier.
Yeah, I would say definitely we need to look at chapter 6 on recommendations, make that a high priority because the rest of it is just a lot of information and.
Yeah, yeah. But if there's a way I could get a copy of it now, so it doesn't go all over the place. Great, I'm more of a hard copy person now. So I know we kind of got off topic there a little bit. Got enough time on that as far as we're concerned? Is that all you have, John?
So Howard, are you gonna put that on the agenda for the next meeting?
Yes, can we do that for now? Okay. Cause sometimes, John, when we have people like you come in, we'd like to make sure we don't want you to have to hang out longer than you want to. We want to make sure you're in a hurry, you give what you want and can be on your way.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But that's pretty much my purpose for attending is to talk about having the commission more involved in parks planning decisions and
Okay.
work on this master plan update in this interim period until we get these 2 other pretty big projects.
Well, thank you for. Welcome to stick around as long as you want to, or.
Oh, you just kicked him out now. I think this vote is still voting.
Executive session now by John, no.
I'll give you a heads up and.
No, if there's ever city staff, we like to try to not make them have to work extra because we put them at the end of our meeting. So I'll let you know that. Okay, so that's it from that for now. I guess we're then on to old business. Park assessment tools. I didn't do mine again.
So here, you know, here's some things I have to say on the park assessment. I think one, you know, do we want to continue it? I think
Mhm.
that's one question. I've enjoyed it. I think it's got me out. And then number two, you know, we move forward. We did this. We were supposed to report on our outreach, our ones that we've been doing. I think we should probably maybe continue that. If we want to continue doing it, then next time, then Howard, you could, you know, have some system to, you know,
Oh, boy.
to assign it, you know, draw balls out of a hat or something. But anyway, you know, if that's what we want to do. So one, do we want to continue it? I think that's one thing we need to discuss here today. And two, if we do want to continue it, then how do we want to go ahead and do the assigning process? I like the 3 months, even though this may end up being 5 months. 3 months is really I like the 3 months part.
I mean, the whole question would be is that, I mean, once again, I don't have the computer skills, but Dana putting all that information in, how is that information being put in correlated?
Did it come to you, Buck? Didn't it come to you?
Never
The
seen,
final,
never seen one come to me.
Oh, it's never come to you, huh?
so that's a real big void, thing right there. I.
So
Suggest
we're going to right now. with these assessments.
I believe Dana was working with Kathy,
Yeah,
so those two are probably the best two to speak to regarding that.
I will take a. Well,
Wait, okay, okay, let's talk about
I'll
that.
talk. Okay, we continue on. I think it's positive. Actually.
In the meantime, should we just do one more round of our current parks?
So. I agree with that.
Okay,
And the other thing is, you know, do we want to continue with the project? And I think it's a very valuable thing to do.
let's see what
I-
Scott finds out and then.
No, Scott's dealing with what's happening to the information.
Okay,
Well, I'm gonna,
that's all of them.
I guess we can make that decision next time then.
I was just gonna see where we're at with that.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Because I know, like, you know, I've made recommendations like, you know, but, you know, the picnic table, the picnic area the roof needs to be cleaned off, you know, and just little things like that, you know, just, you know, and, you know, like at the playground structure, you know, there's dirt and there's algae on it, you know, those need to be cleaned. So, you know, I'm doing those, you know, making those recommendations or making those comments, you know, but if they're not getting to you, then why am I doing them?
Lynn also has her hand raised.
Lynn?
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm not for continuing the experiment because it duplicates what maintenance already knows and does. And I'd like to go back to when we were each taking a park or parks, and we were washing the graffiti off the benches or blowing the leaves off of a concrete area, or we were clipping our trails so they were open to people that are walking on there, or we're having work parties every couple of months to make sure that they're looking good, or we're doing some weeding that might need to take place at the McCormick Park. So right now I don't see, and I go to a lot of the parks and I walk Dalton about 2 or 3 times. That's about 3 miles a month to make sure that everything's looking okay, that we don't have any homeless in the preserve, that I, will notice graffiti that maybe has been done or damage. You get to know your park that way. When you're rotating all the time and just looking and reporting this, nothing is getting done. You might have a fun time going to a park, but you can do that anytime. And so that is my opinion, and maintenance is on top of it. They know what needs to be done to every park already. If you need some little details, then that's what most of us came on the commission to do that, to help take care of our parks. Because maintenance does not have the staff it needs to do every little thing for all of our parks. And that's my personal opinion. Thank you.
I mean, maintenance has always been really good. If we go to one of our parks and see something, Buck's usually been very receptive towards us, calling them up and saying, hey, we just noticed, blah, 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 blah. And usually pretty quick on taking care of something for us when we find something that's a hazard or something that really needs to be done quickly. So.
I agree.
My feeling is that, when I first got onto the commission, that these parks have been assigned already. They've been assigned to people that have had the parks for an extended period of time. This actually gives everybody a chance to participate in each of the parks. This assessment tool, rather than, you know, when I first came on here, I was offered like Pride Park. And, you know, they're fine parks, but you know, they're not one of the premier parks. So this gives people, you know, a chance to visit all the parks in a capacity to do assessments and in more of a official fashion. And it does just give everybody a chance. Whereas I don't think the old system gave us that chance in the same way.
Yeah, I'm torn between the two ways myself, you know, I mean. I put a lot of time at Nob Hill. I know you guys hate me talking about that, but to go off and look at this park that doesn't do much, you know, and it's the same all the time. I just feel sometimes I'm wasting an hour or two each month on things where I could be doing something. One park that I'm really in love with, you know.
And it's just, you know, why not to check on them? Spot check.
As we say, anybody can always go to any park and take a look. So we'll talk more about this, ask Captain, let's see how much of a
Yeah, let's see what's happening.
paperwork can go down without Dana being
Let's
here.
see what's happening with that information. If that information is not getting debunked, then it's not doing any good, because I know I've done, you know, 4 months worth of going to the parks, to the three parks, the 3 areas that I was assigned to. And I've been very diligent about it, and I have enjoyed it, and I think it's been very beneficial to me. And I think I have made some, you know, some recommendations that I think that, you know, are appropriate, that maybe Buck and his crew haven't seen. But if that information is not, you know, if it's not getting to Buck, you know, he can look at it and say, oh, you know, we're gonna do that, or that doesn't need to be done, or whatever. So, you know, I think.
I guess my comment on it would be, I think the intent behind it is worthy, you know. But my concern is I don't know if if Buck is how much he's been able to be honest with us as to what his thoughts are regarding it, and whether or not he feels like it's something that adds additional work to them when they're already doing, you know, like, is it really necessary for us to do this, or do you feel that, you know, this is a worthwhile process to continue, or is it just, you know, not really necessary? I guess I don't know that I don't know, maybe I just didn't hear before, but I don't know that I ever heard maybe your thoughts on it, and what you really feel about having to, you know, because obviously it throws more stuff at you. So I'm just kind of curious.
On the spot.
Hot seat.
So I've got mixed feelings about it. Seeing as how I haven't had the reports at my desk or seen them on paper. Right now, they're not really useful for me, to tell you the truth. I like the idea of commissioners going into our parks and looking at our parks, because when this first started, we had commissioners who had been on here for over 10 years that admitted they've only been in 2 parks in this whole city. I don't think that's right, but I also don't think you need to be told to go to parks. I think if you're going to be on the commission, you should want to visit the parks, whether it's your favorite park or not your favorite park. I think that's what you signed up for. That's just me as a person.
That's true, but it hasn't been.
Right. Yep. And I just, that shocked me. So I think that's a good thing to get you into the parks. I think that, every fall, do you need to tell me that there's going to be some algae growing at the base of the playground? No.
That's the playground equipment.
Right. And we know it's going to be there, whether we get a pressure washer over there at time or in spring, then it's gone, or we have a lot to do and not a lot of people to do it. So we have to, pick what's more important. I think there's good and there's bad. So I don't want, I think the bad is the first 2 times we did it, we sat here and read them word for word. Me, I thought that was a waste of everybody's time here. I think that if you're gonna do a report like that, it should be more like what the council does. They get a pre-packet, they read what it is. Then you can come in here when it's time for the meeting and say, these are the questions that I have or the concerns that I have, not read every word and go through every single one. That should be what I would do if I got a report to me. I would go through and pick what's important and what I can itemize into what my team's going to be doing.
Well, we were just getting established.
Yeah, I get that part. And that was something I was gonna bring up as we went along to kind of shorten things up. And I also don't want to get, 13 reports on every park once a month that I have to burrow through. I don't know that that's really efficient of my time. I think highlights are great. Safety issues, of course, are great. But I don't need to know that you talked to 5 people and 2 of them had a dog and 1 of them had 2 kids under the age of 12.
Well, you might not need to look at the complete report on each one.
Right, and that might be data that's what Dana was trying to come up with, that I don't need fed to me every month, but maybe once a year, an annual, you can be, hey, this is what came to this park, this is what came to that park, and then we can accommodate things maybe towards that group of people a little more.
Could help us close
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I see both sides of it, so I don't think it should be something that eats up a ton of your time. But I also like the idea it gets everybody in the fun, because that's my biggest thing. I just don't want it to be a big paperwork, time consuming, and to be honest, if you see a safety issue in a park, I hope you call me immediately if it's a safety issue. If it's a cosmetic issue, okay, it can probably wait, but if it is safety, that's call me, So I see both sides of it.
One of the,
Refined.
Right.
one of the, I can see that. The thing I liked about it got people out to different parks. And I was just thinking, well, what's another way to get people out to different parks? And so, it's just an idea that just popped into my head. So, like, let's say, okay, next month, we're all going to go during the month, we're all going to go to Columbia View Park. And when we come back, we have a short discussion about the park, okay, And then, the next month, we go to maybe Great Cliffs Park in the month, not as a group, but individually. And we come back and we just, kind of discuss that part. And that way, it's getting us, I did like I understand Buck's point but I did like the idea that, we were going to different parks and I think that was really the real valuable thing to this, and it's just like, I used to go all the time to Dalton Lake, used to be one of when I was an avid walker, I went there all the time with my dogs, all the time, 2 or 3 times a month. I haven't been to Dalton Lake now in, I don't know, numerous months, but it would be, So I think we need to get some way that, like I said, he was surprised that, we hadn't gone to, some of these parks and stuff, And, I think it would be nice if we were seeing different parks and as a group. And then we could, we could have a short discussion or no discussion, just a short discussion. Hey, what'd you like about it? What did you didn't like about it? Where did it go? That might be something that would take the place of this. Just so it gets us out, looking at different ones.
And that's where I'm wondering if we don't work a little bit towards my idea of that we try to do a kind of a work party at each park. A different park every month.
Well, I didn't like
That would
that.
get
I
out.
didn't like that idea, but I could see once every 3 months.
Well, I mean, that way it'd get each park a little bit of donated time.
It's kind of the same thing, except they're actually getting some work done, but then we all have to show up at the same time and.
Yeah. Well, think about it. Let's do a little more, Scott. Check in and see if you can find out where our information is going and how easy is it going to be for us to try to continue what we've been doing.
And if it's not, and if it's not doing any good, I mean. The information we're giving, then there's no reason to do it. But I do like the idea that we were seeing different parks, and I think that's valuable for all of us to be in different places.
And it's also nice to have a checklist to,
Yeah, the checklist was nice, but
so you be able to remember what you're looking for, but checklist could be refined to, to what particular things in each part. Also, so.
Okay, I guess. Find out what you can, Scott, and then we'll come back to this a little bit next month. See, we can all try to come up with an idea of how to draw something out of a hat for different parks.
if we want to continue that, or are we gonna maybe do away with that idea and come up with a different idea?
Okay.
Howard,
Yeah.
this is Lynn. Okay. I'm having a hard time understanding why we need to be told to go to the parks. First thing I did when I knew I was applying for a commissioner, I went to every single park. And if somebody wants to take the effort and go to a park, maybe a lot of people find it too maybe physically difficult to go to a park. Especially something like the preserve, because you'd be walking at least 3 miles and part of it's all uphill. So, but I don't see why that's a problem. If you want to go to a park, anybody can go to any of our parks. So
Then my
it's just
thinking,
a matter if you want to do it or not.
Then my thinking on that is if we all, just the idea that I threw out there, if we all went to the same park. Then, we could, have a discussion on that park and we have all seen that park. You're right, we could all go to, parks all the time, like Howard lives right next to Knobville Park. I live very close to the Botanical Garden, so in those things, so it's a lot more difficult for me to get over to say Campbell Park or some other place.
Well, as you remember, Jerry, we used to just come to the table at the commission meetings and say, oh, you know what happened? Well, I noticed that at my park or the preserve, I got some graffiti on the bench or wherever. But I mean, and it was that quick. And, or you update them, say, hey, everything's looking really good. Or we need a work party probably in the next couple months. Anybody interested? I'll send a notice out. I mean, it was that simple. So I'm just having a hard time understanding why we want to do all this other work. And like I said, maintenance is on top of it. I don't know how many times I've seen that. They know what needs to be done, especially any big items. They're very well aware. Thank you.
Divided on this one.
So we can talk about it next time.
Yeah, okay, so everybody go home, think about it a little more, Scott will do a little more research. Maybe we'll have to maybe just tweak it a little bit more, maybe it's just, rather than a monthly thing, it's. People go to the different park every couple of months and see what's going on. And there wouldn't be so much paperwork for Buck to look through. Because like I say, Buck's pretty good about if we ever notice, I mean, that's why we should go to different parks on our own. And then when we see something that's a major issue, Buck is always very receptive towards our comments, you know. Not putting words in his mouth, I hope, but he's,
Try it.
you know, usually pretty good, so.
But you know, in the past, we used to also. We haven't done it very often, we'd say, okay, we're going to go to this park as a
Yeah,
group.
we haven't done that in years.
You know, we're gonna go to this park, and then we went there and would look at the park.
Uh-huh.
And that's kind of what I was, you know, kind of the idea that I was thinking about. Was that we could maybe go back to that idea that, you know, we all go. We could all go to a park at the same time, or we could pick a park and go to it individually. But, you know, there are other alternatives to this.
Okay, okay. Let's discuss them a little more at our next meeting. This food for thought, is that the way to say it? And is it then? That sound good to everybody? Okay. After that, I guess, standing item, Milton Creek. Is it flooding yet?
I haven't been out there recently. I did just meet with Lindsay Wilson to talk with her from the port,
Uh-huh,
and she expressed interest in the Port and Talbot site in connecting that with the city side eventually,
uh-huh.
because they're going through the processes of trying to get DEQ grants to clean up that site.
Yes.
And that's a long process, but just trying to get these ideas for them in the future is big for the grant. And yeah, so we met to talk about possibly putting a trail, just connecting it to the site and what that could look like in the future. So I recommended just showing like this could turn into like a meadow or something like that. Like they have other ideas for the site in the future, but just they want to have something to do with the Milton Creek Woodland Reserve there. And I don't know.
Because they do talk,
Open and tell the site, that's just, I think that's the whole idea behind it, that's why we're very receptive to it.
Yeah.
Is because of this. So, yeah.
I believe the DEQ site was started about 25 years ago. Still not completed.
yeah, I think they've come up with a rougher plan of what they're trying to do. Some of it needs to be capped. I know the port's been very active in looking at that the Scappoose Bay Marina is costing a small fortune with the way that it's silting in and the dredging that's taking place. That
We also did mention that they were looking at that site for moving the marina towards there in the next.
to deeper
10
water
years or
where
so.
the channel is deeper because the channel keeps silting in and they can dredge the marina itself. But to dredge the channel, that's a small fortune. And if we're spending
She said there's,
millions,
Because of the toxicity.
yeah,
that's it. That's it.
she said with the like current marina in there, since the silt's all back up, there's sturgeon just stacked on top of each other, breeding in there. So it's
Uh-huh.
becoming this better environment for them as well, which is kind of interesting. Thought it was cool to share. Yeah.
So there may be a certain number of boats that still could get in there, but they need to end up with an area that's farther down there somewhere that's a better thing where they don't have to worry about a lot of dredging to keep it
And
open.
they were talking about the that road that goes along the property, the city property through there as an access road for the potential site for a marina.
Mhm. Mhm. Or where the main road goes into that area. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because they have an easement through there.
So yeah, that's been something that's been being proposed on the Marine Advisory Board that I sit on also, so.
So they're showing the process with that and just trying to stay hand in hand with us as well.
Somebody said the government doesn't move overnight. It takes a long time to get things sorted out.
With the article, that's not gonna come out this month, I got the a draft of it, sent it over to Crystal, and Crystal and John went through what they had asked about some edits. Understandable edits to it, but I got email from Lindsay saying that, well, she'd like to take another stab at it, so might be a different article than what I sent to John that he took time on. So just to give you a heads up on that. That's all I can think of right now. Well, also with the John and Crystal going through the edits. It actually brought some things up that we have to really start thinking about. Like an agreement between the city and the port about the access of the. Well, what we're trying to achieve with, that's something we need to start thinking.
Okay.
How much of that is with the Parks Commission though? Like that much of our dealings, or are we kind of the intermediate in between?
Go between. Most part. Am I correct on that, John?
Very conditional.
Wake up, wake up.
It depends, right? What it is, right?
Well, I mean, we figure out a way, how to proceed to start the process. That's, I think, what we need to start doing.
Because people are on board, they're just, what's next? That's kind of the thing. And money is always an issue, of course.
But the money aspect of it isn't that great.
Not for the trails.
But I do see value in having an intergovernmental agreement that establishes the relationship and projects and priorities.
That's, I mean, that's what the gist I got from the edits. That, you know, if there's some wording in there that, you know, this. It was established. So that's what, but it does, it actually help, you know, clarify. What issues we need to resolve going forward.
Okay.
So that's me.
Can I say something on old business, Howard? I have a question for, I guess, Brandon. So has the city council discussed the urban trail?
It was discussed at our after our joint meeting, just have an update. Most of us, I think, walked down to the park here. Picked out your desired spot, so I sent that to Mohammed. And he said he gave Buck kind of the go ahead to get to work on this, and then we did mention it in our last meeting, and so I really don't know where it's at or what.
There was some discussion during that meeting. I believe John had a comment on it. About making sure where the location of the kiosk goes, so we're not cluttering up with other signage, because you
Yeah,
I might be wrong.
No, yeah, we did, is part of the Riverwalk design, which, you know, most of that's designed to a 30% level, which not what isn't constructed is designed to a 30% level. We engaged a interpretive sign person that has both interpretive signage plan. A lot of those signs are already installed. But there will be more as future phases go down the way. So we just want to be mindful of creating sign clutter.
Have you seen where we're talking about putting one out here, John, or?
Not exactly, no.
Okay, we need to during the daylight. We've got a few moments.
The sign doesn't need to have its own dedicated kiosk. It could maybe partner in with some other signs or be on the concrete walls or.
The location, you know, I got a comment on this, John, you know. Been down there every month now for the last 4 months looking at that, you know, and sometimes even on my own time. But the site that basically I'd say Brandon picked out. But the site that we agreed on there is really a nice location. And I think if the kiosk is not, you know, super big, just a fairly small one, it's not going to distract from that. And the nice thing about the location, it's easy to find, you know, when the information comes out, you know, the trailhead is at the turnaround at Columbia View Park. When they go to the turnaround at Columbia View Park, it's the only kiosk there. And you know, it's opposite, you know, there's the rail along the river, and this is, you know, on the other side of it. So I don't see that as, you know, interfering with, you know, the signs.
I'm just speaking generally. I don't know this.
No, I know John's saying, but I'm just saying
They
that.
could always move it to and upgrade it as the city
Well,
gets more fancy
eventually,
down there.
You know, I mean, it's a great spot in my opinion. I think it's
Yeah.
fantastic, because Buck and I talked about the Rose Garden and lots of other places. And then when we walked down there and looked at that, that's like, hey, this is perfect for right now. Eventually, when the other projects get completed, it could be moved, you know, down a little farther, or it could stay where it's at. But the location that we looked at a couple months ago, I think is fantastic, because it gets people into parks and they get to see all the parks that are along the trail there.
And that's where I'm at with the kiosk is I just need to know the exact location and have approval from everybody. That's where it goes.
So my
For the time being.
Yeah.
yeah, getting back.
Fully taken out. It
Well,
proves to be in the wrong
Getting
spot.
back to the question I asked a few minutes ago. Basically, Brandon, you know, somewhere along the line, the city council's got to say, okay, you know, go ahead with the project, you know. Mohammed's given his approval, he's, you know, kind of thrown it.
I think we pretty much have the approval for the project.
I was at that meeting they're talking about, and I thought the city council
Locations
pretty
now,
much.
just don't want to put something in and then maybe the mayor doesn't like it, maybe John doesn't like it, maybe I want all these people to, I want all of their approvals at once to say, yes, we can put this here
Okay.
right now. And as far as the rest of the approval for us putting the markings down and all that, we're there.
We're there, yeah.
So getting back, I know that we're kind of beating the dead horse here maybe a little bit, but you know, we still haven't got an answer after 4, 5, 6 years. The thing is, you know, I talked to Brandon and I said, hey, Brandon, you know, what situation can we put that there? He says, well, we've got to get that from Mohammed. He's got to give us that approval. So.
Right. And Mohammed gave it to me.
Right, and I.
Now you can just say it's my fault. It's not up. I
No,
just
no,
make
but I mean,
all the
but
approvals.
then Mohammed says, okay, if Buck thinks that's a good play, so it's Buck's decision if it goes there.
And I'm gonna get help
My
with my
understanding
decision,
is
is what I'm
that,
saying.
you know, that, you know, it can go there, you know, and I don't see it as being an eyesore or anything else. I don't think it's gonna distract at all from.
Right.
From.
So here's my goal is to get the kiosk stood up where it is right now, get pictures of it, get measurements of it, talk to the people who need to see it, these guys.
Yeah.
And let them know this is what it looks like, this is the size of it, they can kind of visualize it there. And if they all agree, yes.
Have to go for one more final approval, say, city council powers.
It's nothing
on.
formal, it's just
So-
the.
So
Objector-
I'm kind of going, I'm sorry, Howard, I talked over you a little bit here, but I'm kind of going the same place that Howard's going on this, you know. Okay, so the city council, they have given approval for the trail. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so next, the only thing now is the kiosks. And so John probably needs to look at that spot.
I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah, and you probably need to look at it with John and,
That's what I'm saying.
I would just.
you know,
That's
and.
what I'm saying is just
Yeah.
get a, you
And
see,
then
you see a
they-
problem with this?
Do I dare say Rachel
We're
or
gonna need weather, so it's not gonna happen.
the engineer that
But
kind
then-
of oversaw it too, should she have her
We're
input
we're in a good
on
spot.
it and that's it? Or how many people do we need to ask for the final approval, John, do you think?
Just don't want it to conflict with any
Okay,
plans, right? So.
He doesn't want to, right, and I understand that, yeah. And that the point, the location we picked, in my opinion, doesn't distract from that, because I was down there yesterday reading the signs again that you were talking about. And I don't see how this would distract from those at all, but I'm a little biased.
But you also probably aren't aware of any other projects coming up and
Or
some other.
new ones are gonna go, yeah. I don't see any new ones going.
Yeah.
Where we're gonna put the kiosk, but
But basically, we're at the point, I need to do that, and I'm really not in a big rush because I look at how soggy the ground is now, and it's not gonna happen for a little while anyway. I know you wanna hear the yes, yes, yes.
well, I don't care, yeah, and
We're getting closer. You gotta give me that.
And then,
pretty damn close.
and then it,
Spring, we're gonna be fine.
and then at Nob Hill, Buck and probably Jerry and me, we need to walk and decide where we
Yes.
put the concrete in there.
But maybe you and I and Howard can do that sometime this winter.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I think there was I think I said there's at least 3 locations that we need to have. Where there's intersections where we need to, put down a,
3 or 4,
yeah, 3 or 4 where we need to put down some concrete. And you definitely need to be in the input loop in that.
I think we all know where they go.
Yep.
Pretty much.
I mean, real close, and then, I mean, we'll have to decide too. I mean, if we do just like a lot of the other things where we excavate it a little bit for you, put some gravel there, so all you gotta do is walk in with a form and pour the concrete and
Yeah, and I'm
make
willing,
them dental.
yeah, and I'm willing to, like I said, I'm willing to do the digging, and I've done lots of those things, so. I'm capable of doing that, Buck.
We've been through this.
I have that skill set. I don't have many, but I can do that one.
I'm willing to shoot.
Yeah, with a beer probably.
Okay, I think that's probably enough on that. then. How many years worth? We have our battle plan.
Yeah, I'm ready for it to be done too.
Okay,
Thanks, John.
okay. That's our fault, everything so far then, gentlemen and ladies?
Do I go back to the non-criticized?
Got plenty of time.
About the article, I'll send that to Jamie here and she'll send it all to you guys. So you can look at it if you have any issues. We will be, it's not gonna be published till January now. We also, discussed a site visit. Look at, January for, we're looking at the port, people from the port, the council and the commission out there. Pick some days in January, send it out to everybody.
Okay.
See what. It's good. Yeah. So.
Okay. I'm pretty free flowing here.
I feel like I'm not being.
Sorry. That's my way. Okay, if we're done with that, then would we say staff reports?
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot. Been doing, of course, a lot of leaf cleanup, everywhere. We have been winterizing all of our snack shacks, our buildings, water fountains, things like that. I have been utilizing the parks crew for quite a few projects with our facilities maintenance due to the absence of Roger. So they're kind of helping fill that gap, which is nice. Some of the items on our hot list we've already discussed, like the kiosk, Park the Urban Trail and the Civic Pride kiosks. And I think that probably the Civic Pride one can probably happen this winter just because it's so close to the road, and I don't think we're gonna do too much damage there with the ground being softer.
Thank you, Buck.
Yeah, the other one is of course the Urban Trail signage. That's a weather related item, but we can always do more planning as we've already discussed. And the wind phone is another one, which I'll be meeting with Bailey again this week sometime. I'm hoping it's either Thursday or Friday because we're going to be on site. She has the bench being donated. I went to Scappoose and looked at the one there. It's really nice. It's if you haven't seen it, it's at Veterans Park. It's really clean install. It's not a sore thumb or anything. It looks very professional. It's simple. Basically, it's a bench with enough room on the sides to where if someone wanted to wheel up in a wheelchair, there's room for them to sit next to somebody on the bench. The phone stand is gonna be very similar to what she wants in McCormick Park. So if you're curious and you're in Scappoose, go to the Veterans Park. And right as you drive in, where all their flags are and everything for the Veterans Memorial, you'll see it sitting right there. You can find it super simple, and that's what she's going after it in Park Park. Except for the bench will not be this Trek wood style design that they have. She's having the concrete bench donated. And she said she brought that up to you guys and everyone was fine with it, because I know that you guys wanted all the benches to be much the same. She said that she pretty much had your guys' approval on that, so I don't know where you stand on it. But there is a concrete bench in that area already at the Veterans Park, so I thought, well, I mean, it sounds like it's gonna be a nice bench. I don't think it's gonna be anything trashy. So yeah, she's excited about it and it was pretty neat. I was a little, thought the wind phone thing was quite interesting, but there is a little book in there. And I opened it, people are writing down that they're using it, and I didn't get real nosy, but it is being used and it's not being abused, it didn't appear, so. Yeah, it's kind of cool. If it helps people out, that's a great thing, and. It's gonna be out of the way, we're gonna get our final location, and I will probably come to you guys with that final location before we break ground and pour a concrete pad there, just so you're all good with it. Other than that, between maintenance and rain.
I have a question, Buck.
Yeah.
Who are the people that went to Japanese gardens and started clearing it out? They did a great job, whoever it was.
You know, we
I
asked
walked
that,
around it, but
we asked around for that, and I am not sure I'm not sure who it was. Nobody really took claim to it. At first I thought maybe it was, oh gosh, I hope get this right, the Sears dads. Thought maybe it was them, but they're kind of slowing down on what they're doing, so I doubt they would get that ambitious, but whoever it was, yeah, they did a good
I'll
job.
ask the SWCD because they help out sometimes too. So we'll
Who's
check it.
that?
I'll let you know.
Didn't hear who she said.
You didn't hear who you were saying you were gonna check with, Lynn?
Soil and Water Conservation District,
Oh,
Columbia
okay.
County.
Yeah, usually they notify us, but I didn't hear anything. And that's pretty much what I got.
Counselor's report.
I think most of my stuff we kind of covered in one way or another. The only other thing I wanted to mention is at the last council meeting, we discussed how often we should meet jointly. And planning commission felt like they were okay with once a year. The mayor didn't feel like that was quite enough, so we've settled on twice a year. And then with the idea being that if we don't need that second meeting, we can always cancel it. So we'll for sure have one every year, most likely two.
I like the idea of two.
And if
There's
you
always
have any
questions.
feedback on that or any, Howard likes to, but what about the rest of you? You okay with that?
Who's fine?
I think we can fill that time up pretty easily.
And
I
that
think once would be enough. That's my opinion.
Yeah, if we do have two, the only thing I would say is make it meaningful, make sure there's purpose for it. I think the only big thing coming up, taking place in the parks is this weekend, Christmas ships, so.
Coming weekend. Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought they were last weekend. Okay. Okay.
Any questions from you guys though, or anything you need?
No, I was. I was surprised you didn't come, Jerry, to the city council meeting where they discussed all that.
I thought, I looked at there and I thought they had canceled that.
They did, but then they redid it last city.
Yeah, I read it twice. I went through and looked at it twice. And it said it had been canceled, so that's why I didn't come.
See, November was canceled, but there's one beginning of December.
Yeah. 'Cause I was hoping.
No, no, I
there.
was gonna go to that one.
Okay, okay. Cause they discussed a few things and they were kind enough to let me clarify a few things.
No, I would have been there. I'm starting to read my emails on a regular basis now.
I would like to also say thanks to Dana and Scott. I'm glad you re-upped, and good luck to Dana, and we'll see her around.
Yeah, she steered this in some interesting directions and got some good work done. Okay, discussion items. I've got a couple of minor ones. I've been approached by a couple of relatives that are possibly looking, we're pretty free. They want to do a memorial bench for somebody possibly. And I said that really, they just gotta kind of pick an area and come and talk to us in the Parks Department, and we're fairly free about where we put another bench in a park, aren't we?
Depends on which park and where the bench is. I mean,
Yeah.
some of our parks get quite a few benches.
Yeah, so we need to know a little bit more, about that, but there is always that way that we could get a bench from somebody and that type of thing, you know.
It's an ask and see
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah, that's,
Well, I mean, as I said, a number of years ago, the benches. You only have a finite amount of space, as Buck was just saying, you're filling it up. Should have some time. Rules to it, maybe have a memorial that lasts 10 years, because you have turnover for other people to utilize it. So it's just things to think about.
I don't know if this is probably not somewhere you would want a memorial bench unless somebody really likes noisy kids, but one place where I've seen the need for benches is around the playground at McCormick. Anytime I've been there, there's, very few seating options, so something to keep in mind if there are future bench opportunities, that it would be nice to have a few more.
well, that's what I was kind of trying to say to him as well. Think about if you really want one in St. Helens for this person. He was a St. Helens resident, and come to the Parks Commission and we'll talk about it and see what possibilities we can come up with. Or for anyone that would want to do that.
That's a lot of work to get one of those benches if you're gonna store all that plastic. That's crazy.
Well, they were talking about they may just through donations purchase one.
Yeah.
So that's why I gotta have more of the discussion with them once they really decide if they're serious about doing it, let's see. I like the way they cut some stuff up in the work crew cut some of the stuff along Fifth Street right away. I'm starting to wonder if we could get them to do a little bit more clearing, especially on the end of Fourth Street. Some of the blackberries that they cut a few years ago, they're starting to come back. So if we could schedule them in for another work session on that, Buck.
I'll let Tori know about it and he'll contact it.
Should I be talking to Tori sometimes? Are you turning more over to him, or is it still better to run things like that?
That's fine. You're also free to talk to him if it's something that needs to be a little more urgent, but if it's something you just want to get on our list, this works for me.
I just want to know the protocol, because it sounds like he's getting a little bit more.
I gotta make it do something.
There you go. Responsibility. He's a good worker, don't get me wrong.
So Howard, I have a couple comments here. So,
Yeah.
so for the next meeting, so Jamie, we're gonna have on it about the chairman. Is that correct? Will that be part of
The
the
elections,
the election
nominations, and
talk about?
now we have to do nominations and then vote at that time too, or can we? No, I'm gonna say we'll probably vote too. We'll make nominations and vote.
Okay, but that's on the agenda then.
Correct.
And I'll also
That's
send
right.
out an email requesting agenda items, so please make sure that you send those over. I'll make sure to get those on there.
Jerry?
We're all gonna read chapter 6. That's on the agenda also.
6.
As long as you're
Recommendations.
listed.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna put that in the agenda,
Make it.
review that. Once you see the agenda, then that will remind you that. Do that.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone just come in here and read it. What's gonna happen?
Or copy.
Okay, anything else? You have anything, Lynn? Anything, Paul?
Thank you.
No, I mean, I do have something, but I think it'll be an agenda item for next month's meeting, so it can wait. So I'll try to get it added to the agenda. So,
Okay.
thank you.
Well, that's it. Motion to adjourn. Okay, I guess we're adjourned then.
All right. See you guys next month. I'm walking out the door.